Hello, everybody. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. We've got Facebook and YouTube here with us. YouTubers, I want you to smash the subscribe button so you never miss one of my live weekly videos. And if you're coming to me through Facebook, you're going to want to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow me to see your name as it appears on Facebook using my StreamYard service. If you've already done that, don't worry about it. You only have to do it once. Today we are continuing our new series. This is our third interview in this series, and everybody is loving it so much. The Entrepreneurial Inspiration interview. And this is where we chat with one of our awesome Facebook group members about their journey as an entrepreneur. And today is our very own Tina Tesch-Myers. But first, in case we're new to each other, and this is the first time you've ever seen me, I am Tracy Beavers. I am your business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you get visible, grow your audience, and grow your email lists without paid ads. All of my strategies are organic and they don't require any advertising or creating truckloads of new lead magnets. I want you to pop your questions and comments in the chat for us as we go along. I know that I'm happy to answer your questions. I know Tina is also. You guys are going to love her. Let me introduce her to you. Tina is a first-generation Australian, born to German parents, amazing German parents. She has two brothers, and one of them is her twin. How cool is that? She studied hotel management and catering. You guys have to listen to this. She studied hotel management and catering. Then she became a chef. She traveled and studied all over Europe. How exciting does that sound? Then she moved to Tasmania to become a woodworker, and then to Boulder, Colorado to study rolfing. You want to talk about a Renaissance woman. She has a passion for food and helping the body stay healthy through nutrition. And her first love has always been the ocean. Even as a small child, she said that there was the tug of the ocean for her, and she just felt like a water baby, and her family knew that was her favorite place. She decided to create her business, which you're going to hear about today. It's called Move Me, when her young son, Joaquin, expressed to her his concerns that his generation was going to have to clean up the mess that our generations have made in our oceans. Yeah. And she decided then and there she was going to do something about it to save the ocean she's always loved for all the generations to come. Tina, welcome here with us. We are thrilled to have you. Is there anything you want to add to that introduction before we jump in?
No, I think you have hit it really well. Absolutely. No, there's nothing else. We will just go with the conversation. You'll learn more.
Just dive right in. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about you. Dive a little deeper for us. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you serve, how you serve them.
Okay. I am Tina Tesch-Myers, and I'm an environutrient consultant. So I'm not a coach, I'm a consultant. I will give you solutions for you to choose, and it'll be up to your choice if you want to do it or not. But I give you the information because I'm a bit of a science nerd, and I need the science to give very good clarity for people. And, it's my passion, but, everyone is busy. Every person is busy in their life. And this is the big thing that I've found, that people are going, well, really, I don't have time to do anything.
Right.
So I thought, let's just do one thing a day in small, simple habits that we can change. Less than 10 minutes. And everyone has 10 minutes time.
Yeah.
And just to change one thing. Okay. And then go off on your merry life. But do that consistently. I mean, really, you've got to do that with the courage, commitment, and consistency of just little changes. And for me, that is the massive change you can do for your health and which ripples into the environment.
Okay, I got it. So just those small changes, which you're going to talk about today in our conversation and give us some tips. But those small changes every day, 10 minutes a day, like you're talking about, that will impact our health and our household, you're saying also has that ripple effect to our ocean.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear more about that.
Absolutely.
So tell us, I mentioned this just a little bit, but I want you to tell everybody the story because it gives me chills when you tell it. What happened with Joaquin? set the scene for us and tell us what happened, because this has changed your life,
Yeah.
and you created an entire business around this one conversation you had with him.
Yeah, yeah. And Joaquin was, he's an amazing son. I adopted him from Guatemala.
Uh-huh.
So he's been my son since 7 months old,
Uh,
and we're walking on the beach, and I'm a beach nerd. I
yes,
love the sand,
I do too.
and he's looking around, and this was a really clean beach.
And
So,
how old was he at this time?
he was about 13,
Okay.
13, 14,
Yeah.
somewhere around there, and he came out with this sentence, "You guys," because we saw a plastic bag on the side,
Yeah.
jammed into the rocks. And he went over and picked it up, and he goes, "You guys have screwed up the environment for us, and now we have to clean it up." And I just went, "That's really true. That is really true." And it's been something that's always been on my mind because, when I would go into Costco, I would just cringe inside when
Mhm.
I'd see thousands of bottles in plastic,
Yes.
which then coated in another source of plastic and then another source of plastic.
Right.
And I'm just going, "Really?" And
Yeah.
it would make me I'd have to block off the emotions that would connect to it. So
Yeah.
when Joaquin said that, and then that plastic was on the beach, and putting
Mhm.
the 2 together, I've always known I've had to do this, but I've
Yeah.
been scared. I've been absolutely terrified.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And how long ago was this?
This was about 4 years ago.
Okay. Okay. And so you've been on this journey now for about 4 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my, yeah. And I love that you shared with us that you were scared, because I love to hear about the big challenges that we all face. And it's one of the core reasons why I love doing these interviews, because I think if we can normalize the conversation about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, and how
Mhm.
completely thrilling it can be, but how completely terrifying it
Yeah,
can be, I
yeah,
think that's going to help more of us
yeah.
feel better in our own skin about what we're
Mhm.
trying to do. So, so you were feeling scared, and so that's a challenge you had to overcome. What are some of the other challenges you had to overcome as you decided you were going to do this?
Well, it was also my belief in myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I really do this?
Right.
Do I have validations to do this? Because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. I mean, I'm passionate about learning. I am passionate about the oceans and people's health.
Yes.
Cellular vitality for me is really, really important. You
Mhm.
start from the cells and you work out. But do I really wanna do this? This is a big chunk I'm biting into,
Yeah.
and can I do it?
Right.
And then the other challenge is, you'll get people who will look at me, and I mean, I tell them, "Oh, this is what I wanna do," and I get comments like, "Well, you're altruistic." And someone will, it's like, "Really? You think you can do this
Oh,
when
wow.
no one else can?" And, it's you have to learn to get that Teflon Velcro skin,
Uh-huh.
the Teflon to roll off all that negativity,
Yeah.
because that person's opinion of me is none of my business.
I love it. Could you repeat that for everybody?
Your opinion of me is none of my business.
I love that. And so you obviously had the support of your children.
Oh, and my gorgeous husband.
And
And it was without those 2
yeah,
really supporting me,
right.
and then, yeah, I have to say, you have to get a group of women. For me, it's been women, not so
Yes,
much men. Men are great, but
right.
when I wanna pour out my heart and soul
Yeah,
of misery and frustration, I go to gorgeous women.
yeah.
I go to women who see me who I am, who have more belief in me than I do,
Yes.
and they go, "We're here to support you, and we're gonna make sure that you stay on this journey."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I say this every week, we have to stick together in this entrepreneurial journey. Was that the gorgeous husband?
That was a gorgeous he just brought me in.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
How are you doing?
We're good. I'm interviewing. We're live on Facebook. And you're fine. That's so fun. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to see people's families. That's so sweet that he brought you a flower. Well, what you said is so pivotal, because I say this every week at the end of my lives, that being an entrepreneur is freaking hard and we have to stick together.
Yeah.
For the reasons you just said, all that doubt coming in your head of, and people saying to you, well, you're just one person. What difference are you going to make? People said that to me too when I said I was going to be a business and sales coach and I wanted to reach entrepreneurs on a global scale. And I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay. I'm the capital city of Arkansas, but it's still not a very big place. And people were just like, little Tracy Beavers from Arkansas is going to, but I was like, okay, well, just get out of my way and watch me then.
Yeah. You get that fire in you, that defiance.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't knock me down. As we say in Australia, the tall poppy syndrome. Don't knock me down until you really have a valid reason.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that surprised you along the way of building this?
Wow. Well, it would be two really incredible surprises, which really formulated this, making it stronger for me. Was I was in a coffee shop. I love my good coffee shops, my little espresso. And I was working on my website. I was determined I'm going to be doing this. And there's a woman next to me with her daughter opposite her. And then she was curious because I do mind maps.
Okay.
And she was going, wow, that's a different way of doing notes. And I go, oh, it's mind maps. For me, it's really easy to understand. Instead of 20 pages, I have it all on one.
Right.
And she goes, what is this about the plastic? And I said, well, for me, it's my passion is to help reduce the plastic footprint. And to let people know there are so many other amazing opportunities and differences that you can use instead of this. And to clean up the oceans. Because, the oceans are 70% of this planet and we are 70% water. So I think there's a correlation that when we help ourselves, we help the oceans at the same time.
Yeah.
And her little girl opposite her, the mother went, oh, that's nice. Very, is that typical, pleasant?
Right.
And the little girl got off her tablet, which was quite a miracle. And she looked at me. She was 11 years old because I asked her how old she was. She goes, thank you. It's about time someone is helping us.
These children are amazing.
It totally, and I find that young children are more enthusiastic than their parents. And when you get people in their 60s and 70s and they've gone numb, which I can understand.
Yeah.
And they're going, well, I don't really care because I'm leaving.
Right. So. And the other thing is that, and I hate to say this, but sometimes we get to an age where we're like, why do I want to change now?
Yeah.
I'm too old for that.
Yeah, it's true.
And it also becomes difficult at older age.
Yeah.
As our parents are aging and I'm helping my parents and John's helping his parents and all that, we're starting to see some of that rigidity of, we've always done it this way. I'm scared to do it any different. So, I mean, reaching the children, I think, is amazing. And the honesty that's coming from them, I mean, and for you to listen, that's just really cool. And so, so part of the way you do this is by coming into people's homes or meeting them virtually.
Yeah.
And you help me kind of go room to room.
Yeah.
Figuring out what I need to change in my environment for my health. And then, as we talked about before the interview started, that has a trickle down effect. Like changing the use of plastic in my home will help ultimately clean up the ocean because there'll be less waste out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool. And so when you decided to build the business, did you decide that you were going to do one-to-one to start out with and go into people's homes? Or did you kind of decide, I think I want to do an online course? Or like, what did you decide you wanted to do?
Well, I decided I want to go into because I love people. I love being with people.
Yes,
And for me, it's that personal one-to-one. I mean, I really do love that.
I do too.
And that's how I really wanted to bring it because one person knows 250 people. So that word of mouth is
Right.
something that I've always loved working with.
Mhm.
And then I was in the backyard doing work and I accidentally bumped into Amy Potterfield and she popped up and she goes, I'm doing this and this. And I went, oh, she sounds interesting. And I love Mel Robbins. And
Yes.
I know that those two were, well, Mel Robbins introduced her. So that for me was quite a status.
Right.
And so I ended up doing her boot camp by accident.
Yeah.
But I knew at the time that I wasn't ready to do an online course because I hadn't even had the foundations of what I was going to do.
Right.
So I talked to her support and I said, "Can I buy this program, but I can't use it for at least a year. Is that okay?"
Yes.
And they said, "Absolutely. Buy the program because it's lifetime."
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
is.
I went, "Beauty, I'll do that." And that's what will be down the road.
Got it. Okay. I love it. We all have to start somewhere. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes as entrepreneurs, we get afraid to
Yeah.
start. And
Mhm.
what I see, I don't know if you felt like this too. What I see is people want to get it right the first time and they want it to be perfect right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And they want to decide like the menu that they're going to offer and they want it to be perfect right out of the gate.
Mhm.
But that's just not possible. I mean,
Mm-mm.
we have to
Mhm.
so I love that you just jumped in. You're like, "I'm gonna meet the people, and I'm gonna I'm gonna get that experience and all that." I love that. What are some of the things that have surprised you about building a business?
Ah, do you know, what surprised me about building the business is once you get the momentum, you become a little bit more fearless and more bold.
Okay.
And what surprised me more was that, people think just talk, but you have to talk to a lot of people, at least 150 to 200 people to
Uh-huh.
get even 10 people who may be interested.
Mhm. Yes.
And it's that talking and communicating that really made my message clearer,
Uh-huh.
that made me feel more confident. And it is, you just jump in. You have to
Right.
because
Right.
you can't be standing on the limb going, well, one day, and the one day is never going to happen.
I love that. So do you find that so you weren't super clear before you jumped off the limb,
Yeah.
but after you jumped and you got into action and you got into motion, then did things start to become more clear for you?
Really a lot more clear.
Got it.
I had ideas and I had, my book list, my things, but then I'd get from when I go to people's homes, they say, "Well, I make my own furniture polish out of olive oil." And I go, "Oh, can I have that recipe?" And so they would share it with me because it's all natural and organic,
Mhm. Yeah,
non-toxic, would I say? No, it doesn't mean
right.
organic means non-toxic. But and then I would go, "Oh, shower curtains. I never thought of plastic shower curtains being so toxic."
Okay.
And, so I would get little surprises, so I'd add that into my list.
Got
So
it.
it's amazing how people help you. When people
Yes.
are enthused and can see that you're really working to help them in their health and their family,
Mhm.
doors just open. And that's what I wanna do, is I really wanna share what I know, and I
Yes.
love to learn. I love
Yes.
to learn from people.
Yes. I love that. So you just have to simply start
Yeah, you do.
and then you sort of build it as you go
Mhm.
based on that feedback you're getting
Yeah.
from your ideal clients.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love what you said because if you sat on the sideline and waited until you created a course or you created a program and then gone out to try to sell it, that might not have been resonating with your audience. So basically you're creating it as you're going based on what they're saying.
Yeah,
Love
absolutely.
love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. So it sounds like one of my questions I always love to ask is how do you approach risk taking and decision making? But I think I kind of already know the answer. You just kind of make the decision and go. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. You've just gotta be, fortune no, what is it called? Um,
Fortune favors the bold.
fortune favors the bold. And that sentence would go in my from the founder.
Uh-huh.
That sentence just hit me,
Mhm.
and it's the one that I really love. And I just go, just be bold. Do you
Right.
know, it's you got to get the Teflon and the Velcro skin. I mean,
Mhm.
you are never going to please everyone, and you are going to get such surprises.
I love that so much because I always like to know, how do you overcome feeling overwhelmed or feeling stuck? And it sounds like you just kind of refocus on your goal. Would that be accurate?
Refocus on my goal, and then if I still feel overwhelmed and, and I'm not feeling there, I'll
Mhm.
go for a long walk. That walking motion in nature, I have a couple of walks that I know, and I've already mapped them out, so I don't have to think, so I can just walk and just clear my head. And
Yeah.
one is to the beach where I live here, and
Uh-huh.
that's an hour and a half there and back, or a quickie, which is 45 minutes
Uh-huh.
around these high hills around my neighborhood. But that walking, and there's usually a good amount of crying at the same time,
Yeah.
because you get so frustrated. But having those tears and that walking, it just clears everything,
Mhm.
and your brain is settled, you feel grounded, you're not so finicky anymore. It's you're
Right.
more relaxed. It's
Right.
okay. I can do another day,
Just one more day. One
one
day
more
at a
day,
time.
one
Yes.
day at a time.
What is a milestone you've had in your business over the last few years that you are particularly proud of?
Well, it would have to be my launch when I launched on May the 19th this year.
Mhm.
And I had 9 people register, and I'm just going, "Oh my god, this is not a lot, but hey, 9 is better than none."
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
And then I worked with this woman, her name is Wonderful Morrison, and that
Uh-huh.
is her real name, it's not a stage name, that's her birth
Uh-huh.
name. And I was doing a course with her, which I really wish I'd done right from the beginning. And
Yeah.
then we mapped out everything to do every week until the launch. I mean,
Mhm.
every day I had something mapped out and written down. I have to do
Yep.
this, I have to do that, I have to do this. I needed that guide. I'm very
Yes.
dramatic in that way.
Yeah.
I need it all down in clarity, then I know what to do. I'm not lost.
I am the same way. I need a roadmap, and that's what I do for my clients too, and that's why,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I need that roadmap too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And so
so when she did the roadmap and we did it, and then when I had the opening, 33 people turned up. It was my lucky number. And I just went, "Oh my god." And what was the best out of the best was
uh-huh,
my son, Joaquin, and now he's 17. So
uh-huh.
he's telling me, he goes, Mum," because I was gonna have a slideshow, and, he said, "Mum, they're not allowed to be on their phones." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You should tell them." And I go, "Well, why don't you?" And he goes, "Okay, I will." And he stood in front of all these people and he goes, "My mum's worked really hard at this and I don't want to see any cell phones in use. Can you please put them away?"
Oh my gosh!
And he introduced me.
So great!
And I'm just crying. I'm just going, "Oh my God, this is my 17-year-old son."
So
And
great!
he goes, "You have to respect my mum because she's worked so hard to do this."
God, what a
Yeah.
sweet boy. Oh
And
my
it was amazing. I had the most amazing launch, and that I'm so proud of. I
I'm so
really am.
oh my gosh, I've got chills. Was that in person? Did you do an
Yeah,
in-person
yeah.
workshop?
At a library, at a wonderful library.
I love it, Tina. You know, my clients ask me all the time, do I need to do a boot camp? Do I need to do a challenge? Do I need to do a workshop? Do I need to do it virtual? Do I need to do it in person? And the answer is, it depends on what you want to do. And I love that you chose
Yeah.
your own authentic way to start your business
Mhm. Yeah,
by doing an in-person workshop. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
And so what was the feedback? I can imagine they were just blown away.
They were shocked because in the presentation, I gave 3 tips that people could look at
Uh-huh.
and how they could change things just from then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so many said, "That's toxic? Are you sure?" I mean, they were stunned by the simple things they use every day, how
Okay.
it's affecting their health.
Give us some of those if you don't mind, because I'm on
Oh,
this edge of my seat and I want to hear.
Okay. So one of them is, Americans love aluminium foil. The
Oh,
aluminium
aluminum
foil.
foil. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And it is so toxic.
Really?
People put food in it and they heat it up.
Yep, we
What
do.
they what they don't realize is when you heat up aluminium, it's a heavy metal,
Okay.
it seeps into the food, and then you eat it.
Uh-huh.
Aluminium is in the food, you're
Uh-huh.
eating it.
Right.
It's a heavy metal. It loves fat. So it's going to go to every cell in your body, the brain, your sinuses, your liver, your kidneys. So I would tell people, don't cook with aluminium.
Okay.
When Thanksgiving comes and they get those big aluminium trays because it's convenient.
Right.
I'm just going, do you know how toxic that is for
I
the
had no
body?
idea. I had no idea. So what
And
do we
that's
use instead? Like if you need to cover something in, they always say cover the casserole in foil before you put it in the oven, or
I know, it's just like, no,
wrap those
no.
potatoes in. Like, what do you do instead?
Well, I put parchment paper. I don't use aluminium foil, so I put parchment paper in or a lid on top of what I'm cooking.
Okay.
But if you have to throw those potatoes in the fireplace, wrap your potato in parchment paper so the aluminium is really reduced for coming through into the food.
Okay, got it. All right, give us another tip.
Okay, another tip is cling wrap. Everyone uses cling
Yeah,
wrap.
that's
You
bad.
know?
Yep.
What people don't realize, first, it takes 1,000 years to decompose,
Oh, gracious sakes.
as well as it is so highly toxic because it's not regulated with parabens or anything.
Okay.
So whatever you put the cling wrap to,
Uh-huh.
you're absorbing, no, not hundreds, it feels like hundreds of chemical compounds into there, which is hormonal disruptors, shutting down the liver, the kidney, your vision. It all disrupts your body. And you can go to Target.
Uh-huh.
There's uh, a product that you can buy, but it has to be a big Target and not a small
Right.
little one.
Okay.
And they will sell a product called Matter.
Matter. Matter. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And that's all plant-based.
Okay.
And then you can get your Ziploc bags, all plant-based, which
Okay.
decomposes. They've got freezer bags. They've got everything in there, and they're virtually the same cost, which
Okay.
really is just quite amazing.
That's good to know.
It's virtually the same cost. Okay, it's not as cheap as Costco. I mean, I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
But people don't understand the Ziploc bags, how toxic they are with your food.
I love a Ziploc bag, Tina. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but then get a plant-based Ziploc bag.
I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah, and, and I'm going to join a group of people, and they're called, Clinic, and they do all Ziploc bags and everything, trash bags, rubbish bags, and everything straight from online,
Okay.
which makes it easier for a lot of people than
Yes.
having to go and find it and shop for it. But that will be happening with the website. And
Cool.
the last one, I'll give you one more.
Yes, please.
Do you use dryer sheets?
I do not.
A good girl. I'm very glad. I'm
Thank
very
you.
glad. Because what people don't realize is dryer sheets coat all of your bedding and your towels,
Mhm.
and you are then sleeping on toxins which you inhale through your sinuses, which does cause really respiratory problems,
Wow.
skin issues.
Wow. Oh my
So
gosh.
it's something that I make people aware that it's really toxic.
Mhm.
Just put in some people go, "Well, everything clings if I don't use it." Put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in your
Uh-huh.
wash.
Okay.
The
That's good.
tray you put your powder in, and then next to it is the softening tray. Put some apple cider vinegar in. It will take all the odors out from your clothing, and you never
Nice.
smell vinegar, as well as it makes it non-cling.
Nice.
Really simple. Really simple.
Nice. I love it. Oh my gosh. Tell us you already told us milestone. Tell us what I meant to say is in the next 3 to 6 months for your business.
Hmm.
What are you excited about? What's on the horizon?
Well, what's on the horizon is that my website will be really finished.
Okay.
And I'm going to have what's called the Ripple Club, because people feel like, what am I doing? So what?
Hmm.
But, imagine if 100 people did this, 1,000, and what if 1,000,000 people did this? So I want people who are doing, I didn't have a coffee with a plastic lid, to tell me. So you put that into the Ripple Club,
Yes.
into like a monitor. This is what we're putting together. So then you can see how many people are adding to it, how what you are doing at home
Mhm.
has such a phenomenal change
Yeah,
outside,
that's
and
exciting.
how that can start growing, and it makes you don't feel alone.
No, you don't, and it
Right.
reminds me, on my son's college campus, and I know they have these in a lot of places, airports. You go up to refill your plastic bottle
Yeah.
or refill you don't wanna use an aluminum bottle, but you know what I'm saying, a glass
Yeah.
bottle,
Yeah.
and, it says how many plastic bottles you've saved on the little ticker when you go to do it. That makes me feel really good.
Doesn't it? And that's what I want on my website.
Yeah, okay. That's
And
really
then
cool.
and then the last thing is I'm writing a chapter in a women's book. She
Yeah.
leads from within. And mine is called The Ocean is Calling Me. And so you're going to read, I think it's about up to about 20 different stories from different amazing women.
When does that come out?
Um, it should be published in December or January.
Okay. When it's ready, I want you to pop into my free Facebook group and I want you to tell us about it so we can
Yeah.
get a copy and support you.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. And you had mentioned finding Amy Porterfield, and that's how you and I connected was
Yeah.
through Digital Course Academy. Her Course Confident boot camp's coming up. Registration opens next week. Would you share with people when you went through Course Confident last year, kind of were you thinking about an online course? Was it kind of just an idea? Like, what made you jump into the boot camp and what did you love about it? What surprised you about it?
What surprised me about it was it made me start thinking that this is another residue of money coming in, residual money coming in.
Right.
And I loved her personality. I loved how honest she was. I loved how straightforward she was, and
Yes.
how she made everything seem really possible
Mhm.
in simple, easy steps. And it
Mhm.
got me really intrigued. And I loved that the one course you could pay for and have it
Mhm.
for lifetime. Even
Yes.
if I wasn't ready at that moment, because I knew I wasn't.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I knew down the road I would need it really badly.
Right. And she only opens it once a year.
Yeah,
And she's thinking about changing that in 2024, but she hasn't decided yet.
yeah,
And you're right. Every time you have it forever, and every time she updates it, which she's updated it once since I bought it in 2021, you get the fresh version, which is really fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. So let me check the comments and the questions really fast because I think we had a couple of questions. Um, so many people are so excited to hear this. Lori is going to write down your quote. Other people's opinions are none of my business. I love that. Um, Angela Clark is talking about the new laundry detergent sheets. She loves those. So she must be using some that are environmentally safe. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Everybody was so moved about Joaquin's story about everybody pay attention to my mom. Okay. Okay. Lori asked, she uses white vinegar in her wash. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah, as long as it's a vinegar. I only have apple cider vinegar, that's the only one I have.
Okay. Got it. Well, apple cider vinegar has so many good health properties for us. Oh, shoot, Tina, I think you're frozen. There you are.
Oh, I think I am too.
That's okay. Did you hear me?
Has so many wonderful properties, that's what I
Yes.
heard.
Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Y'all, if you have more questions, you toss them into the comments. Even after this live is over, if you're on replay, all you have to do, especially if you're in my free Facebook group, and if you're not in it, you need to be in it. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible and Grow Your Income. Tina is in that group. You can
Mhm.
ask a question and tag her. She will help you. You
Yeah.
can send her a friend request. Tina, tell everybody what's the best place for them to find you and connect with you. And you mentioned to me, I'm so excited about this, that you have a free offer for everybody that's listening.
Yeah. So the best place to connect with me is really through my website,
Okay.
or individually on Facebook to make a
Okay.
friend request.
Got it.
And the website, do you want me to say it, or
Yes.
is So it's move-me.org.
Okay.
And
Move.org. And I know Jill, my assistant, is popping that into Facebook group and Facebook business page for us YouTubers. I'll put it in the show notes. It's move-me.org. Okay. And then your Facebook, how do they find you on Facebook?
Just under Tina Tesch-Myers. You'll see me. I mean, you will definitely see me.
And then what's the fabulous freebie that you have for everybody?
Okay, the freebie is, but you must say the name Tracy Beaver. Otherwise, you don't get the freebie.
Okay, they have to mention my name.
They have to mention your name. And then the freebie is, we'll do 1 hour free in one room that you choose. And then we'll go either in person, which a lot of it will, unless you're around Seattle area.
Right.
Or we'll do it virtual.
Nice.
And then that'll be free. And that's with that discussion, the discovery call and that together. And if you are still fascinated and want to know more, then you can look at the 2 packages, which is get cancer out of the kitchen or be the mom your kids brag about.
I love it.
And then you'll get 30% off that cost.
That's outstanding. So you guys, you just want to go to move-me.org. There's a book and information call on that website. If you mention me when you connect with Tina, Tracy Beavers, then that's when your goodies kick in. And she's going to give you an hour of her time for free and a discount on one of her programs. That's incredible. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, my friends, here's what I want you to do now. Tina and I were talking about Amy Porterfield. You know, she's a mentor of mine. And you know her boot camp registration, Course Confident, is coming up next week. Registration opens on August 30th. I am a partner with her because I believe in her program so much. They have made the difference in my income in my business. So connect with me. I want you to either comment here the word boot camp or DM me the word boot camp. I will put you on my list. I will reach out to you on August 30th when the registration opens, and you can register for the boot camp through me as an affiliate. It is $47 for the boot camp, but here's what I'm going to give you as my thank you. In exchange for you signing up through me as your affiliate and paying your $47, I'm going to gift you one of my $97 courses called Write Emails Your Subscribers Want to Open. It's free. It's my gift to you. So you pay $47, you're going to get a $97 thing, and you're going to get to go through Amy Porterfield's boot camp, learn from the very best. If you're thinking about doing a course like Tina is and has, and creating programs and like I have, and reaching people beyond what you can do with just one-to-one and adding that extra stream of income, this is where you want to start with this $50 boot camp.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tina, it has been so great having you here. I want to remind everybody that join me live every Thursday at 11:30 Central for conversations just like this. I bring you entrepreneurs that are just like you and me to talk about their journey and what they've got going on. Guest experts. I bring you live trainings every single week, so don't miss it. And remember, being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Don't go it alone. Just like Tina was saying, we have to surround ourselves with people that are doing the things that we're doing. That boot camp is a great place to do that. Because some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, right? Some days you have 33 people show up for your workshop, right? And then other days you go live on social media and nobody acts like they even know your name. And all of that is completely normal. So I just want you all to know you're not alone. When one of us rises, we all rise. That's why I always say we've got to keep cheering each other on.
Yeah.
So, Tina, thank you again so much for being with us.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure has been mine. And I will see you guys next week, next Thursday at 11:30.
Okay.